The HR Nicholls Society was formed in 1986 in Melbourne with some establishment figures, John Stone, the former Secretary of Treasury, Peter Costello, you've probably heard of him, and two other guys, Ray Evans and Barry Purvis. And the purpose of the society then was to provide a forum where stories about industrial relations or the truth about industrial relations could come out. But to some degree, I think we've started to slip away from the intellectual argument, and this is what we need to do, guys. We need to get back into it. Let me now introduce our first speaker, Judith Sloan.
I mean, I always thought the old laws were kind of based on an assumption that every employer is a bastard, and every employee is basically helpless. Now you think about that, that is just not the real world. And of course the basic principle is this, that there should be freedom of contract, because we have to assume that the parties to a bargain, the parties to an agreement, are those that are best placed to judge what's in their interests.
Now to introduce to you all a man who all of you know, which is the Honourable Peter Reith.
If there's any policy that is at the epicentre of the conflict, of the fight, you know, the constant argy-bargy between the Liberal Party, the coalition parties and the Labor Party, it's all about industrial relations. When employers and employees sit down and work out what they want to do, they should have the right between them to work out what sort of agreement they want to have. If they want to have a collective agreement, a union agreement, a non-union agreement, an individual agreement which is all the same but, you know, individual for each one. Whatever they want to do, they should be able to do what suits the business. I mean, for heaven's sakes, it's just obvious, isn't it? I mean, isn't it common sense? Who knows best how to run a business? Well, I tell you what, it's not some ACTU official in Burke Street in Melbourne, that's for sure.
If I could grab those microphones from you, Peter, and I'd like to introduce Mal Brough. Mel has kindly come along. He understands these issues, and he's here to give a vote of thanks to the two speakers. Please welcome Mal Brough.
Thanks, Graham. Well, thanks very much, Graham, and thank you to you and John for this evening. The things that really hit me here tonight from both of these people are two words: principle and passion. And very rarely do you get those two in the same sentence. But that's what you've got out of both Judith and from Peter. But I look around this room here and I don't think that if we were talking from the Labor side of politics, that there could be a more different room. How many of you in here actually owe your living to the industrial relations laws? Graham, keep your hands down. No one. But if this was dealing with Labor politics, if this was dealing with the union movement, if this was dealing with IR from the left, every single person in here would be a paid-up employee of a union movement or a representative thereof, and they would owe their living to the changes that they would want to manipulate. So I ask you, why are you here tonight? It's not what you're going to get out of it, it's what you can put into it because you want a better Australia. Where do we want to be? Well, that's where you've got to know what you stand for, and you've got to have principles. And the principles that the HR Nicholls Society are asking you to be part of formulating. And if we do that, we can take the debate up. Today, you don't have to worry about column inches. You don't have to worry about the 10-second grab. Get online. Put your opinion up there. Challenge people. Have some gumptions, have some principle, have some passion, and you can make the difference. Tonight is the beginning of something which I hope will shape the state, will shape the nation. You've been part of it, and I'd ask you not only to join me in your applause and your adulation for the people that have come here tonight, and Judith and Peter, but you demonstrate it through your actions in the weeks and months ahead. Please thank the two of them, and Graham and John. I used the mic too.